to repair the stone wall or remove graffiti or what have you.
Yeah.
We were only able to do that last year because of unusual weather conditions.
Yeah, no,
Under normal conditions, we would never be able to get cleaning materials or, the spikes, the leverage bars, whatever, out to the wall.
Yeah.
And somebody who is intent on doing harm, if they see how easy it is to access them, if there's a bridge there,
yeah,
and hikers nearby, I think they may be less likely to undertake such activity. That's just my 2 cents worth in adding to what I felt was the value of the bridge. As far as the permit application goes, there's a lot of entries in here which I do not have sufficient education to be able to answer and be sure I'm giving the right answer.
Yeah.
I can give it a shot and share my questions about some of these entries with you if you want.
That's fine. Here's where I was going with it. On the permit itself, section 1A we have to complete. It is a trail bridge project. So if you go through the questions, most of them are no. We still have to do the heritage letter, assuming that comes back a no. But where I am worried is number F. Does the project include installation of a new bridge, which it does? And then you have to answer the questions. Work will be performed in the water or in a wetland, and or fill will be placed in the water or in a wetland. Well, it won't be in the water, but it might be in a wetland. And
what does in a wetland mean? If it's above the wetland, is it in the wetland?
At some point, the bridge is on the ground, I guess. So, I don't know. Like I said, you can go, it's like reading tax forms for me. It's like...
I don't find, Deb, to say that in this case it's bank to bank. And certainly there's no fill going into the wetland.
Well, except if you read what Rodney said, he's gonna bring in material for the bridge to sit on. I suppose we need to find out what that material is.
Yeah, when we've done it in the past, it's usually been rocks or 6x6 timbers or something, not like you're going to dump a load of gravel and it's going to pour into the wetland.
But here's my problem with the bank to bank, Paul, is that went out, as far as I can tell, that does not say that in this permit anywhere.
Oh, really?
No. And all that stuff was pre the change, which happened at the end of 2019. This form is dated May of 2020, so it was updated May of 2020, but I don't see anywhere where it says the bridge is going to go from dry land to dry land. Don't worry about it. It says you got a bridge, here are my questions, and it says if I answer no to all the questions, then we don't have to file a major permit, the standard permit. I still think we have to file this little notification permit because nowhere does it say, don't worry if you're going bank to bank.
No, I agree. Now, this new process, I think you're 100% right.
Okay.
You want to know when you're doing something, they just may not need to approve it. So that as this permit by notification, you're basically saying to DES, hey guys, we're putting in a bridge and we're not going to be dredging or filling, and we'll talk to you later.
Right. And you don't do anything really, as long as you have all of your ducks in a row. You've got the attachments, you sign the thing, they review it, and then 10 days later, if they haven't contacted you, you're good to go. So it's not a hard process. It's just, what do they mean by some of this stuff? So I think to make me feel as if we're going to comply with state law, I would like to do a site walk and look at it and see if we can figure out if it is really going to be in the wetland or if it's going to be kind of dry to dry. You know what I'm saying? At least we can say it won't be in the wetland. And we know that the wet doesn't mean the wetland is like the water part of it. It can be the soils. But the town owns the land. We got to, you know, not just close our eyes and say, okay, you know, you guys do it. It's got to be right.
Yeah, agreed,
And they've asked for help, for our help. So,
agreed.
yeah. So my vote is to do a site walk and to figure out exactly where the bridge is going to go and what their plans are.
Yeah, we can't do it now because you can't see what soils you're dealing with at
Right.
this point. So, and probably the best time to do it is in the springs. It's going to be worst case.
Yep.
So, you know,
Everybody like that idea?
time frame-ish.
I think that's a good idea also. I would also like to share this form with them. So
Yeah.
if they read it prior to the site walk, they'll know what we're looking for.
Yeah, good point. I can do that.
I think we're going to ultimately have to understand this form for other properties as well.
Yeah, I keep reading it and I keep going back to the way we used to do it, but I'm not seeing it spelled out that way. So I do think we're going to have to utilize this form a lot more than we have in the past. So we need to kind of understand what we're getting ourselves into. But you're right, Charlie. I totally agree with you. It's going to come up. Anything else on the trail permit issue? Okay, trail adopter reports. I sent around a spreadsheet. I'm going to try to do this more often because it kind of, you know, they kind of fly in, and I'm going to try to organize them with the pictures. They send pictures a lot of times, and I end up forwarding them, and, you know, it all gets mangled into all the emails that come flying in. But there's a couple of things on that trail adopter report. I sent it out late. I hope everybody got it. But I'll just briefly go down the list. Cutler Spalding, we need to look at those trails in the spring. There's some things that we talked already about on Spring Street, Moose